Okay, so now that I have my equation where C is equal to 3 over 25D plus 330, I'm supposed to predict my monthly cost if I drive 1,000 kilometers per month and then 2,000 kilometers per month. So that would mean that the distance in one case is 1,000 kilometers and the distance in the other case is 2,000 kilometers. So if I just plug that value into my given equation, or the equation that I found, I'm going to replace the D with 1,000 over here, and I'm going to replace the D with 2,000 over here. And then I can calculate my cost. So I'm going to get a cost of 120 plus 330, which is actually a total cost of $450 when I drive 1,000 kilometers. For here, I'm going to get a cost of 240 plus 330, which is a total cost of $570 for 2,000 kilometers. This next question is asking, how far could I drive without exceeding a monthly cost of $600? In other words, $600 is the total maximum that I could spend. All right, so if we're talking about a maximum, what we're saying is that $600 is the most. We have to stay either under or equal to $600 in this case in order to stay within budget. So I'm trying to solve for my D value. So I'm going to subtract the 330, of course, from both sides. Multiply by the reciprocal. And I'll get 2,250. I have a distance. I just realized that I did something very silly here that you are all going to laugh at. It really has to be a maximum. That's the most. 600 is more than or equal to. More than or equal to, which means my distance has to be less than or equal to 2,250 kilometers. So I have to stay either less than or equal to 2,250 kilometers. I cannot drive any more than that if I want to stay within a budget of $600. In this next part of the question, it's asking for the cost rate intercept. That's like the y-intercept, and so the cost rate intercept is equal to 330. What does that tell us? That tells us that the cost of the car, even without driving, the cost of the car is $330 per month before you even drive it, even 1 kilometer. That's what that's telling us. The next question is asking us to calculate the distance intercept. And what does that number represent? So the distance intercept is like the x-intercept, so that's when y would equal 0. So I'm going to take that equation here. That's when the cost would equal 0. So let's take a look at that. We would say for this equation, they want us to find a distance. They want us to find a distance such that the cost is equal to 0. So I'm going to plug in 0 and solve for the D, see what we get. Multiply by the reciprocal, and we're going to get a negative 2,750. This value indicates that there is no way to get a distance because you can't travel negative distances. There is no distance where the cost will ever equal 0 for this car. If I wanted to show this on a graph, the y-intercept point, like we said, is at 330. So the starting value is at 330. So even when the distance is 0, we have a cost of 330. And it increases, let's see, we increase a cost of $3 for every 25 miles. That's what the slope indicates. So if I were to go up 3 and over 25, it's kind of a fairly flat slope. So let's see, this would indicate 333 on the cost and 25 miles on the distance. So again, here it says, what is the slope? The slope was 3 over 25. What does this mean? It means $3 for every 25 kilometers.